Hello, I'm Dylan.
And I'm Keon.
And this is Trust Your Doctor, that podcast where we overact, because this week we watched Mindwarp,
Written by Philip Martin.
directed by Ron Jones.
And aired in October of 1986.
Oh, Ron Jones is back.
And Philip Martin, I think,
Yeah,
wrote the other Syl serial,
Yeah,
Vengeance on Veros.
yeah. That one that we had vastly different opinions on. Though it seems that we're mostly in agreement this week.
Yeah.
You finally come to see the light of Philip Martin.
No, I think you've actually come to see the light of Syl serials not being good at all.
Hey, I don't think Syl was... I don't think Syl was the most at fault for this serial. I feel like he was a part of it.
Yeah, he was a part of it.
There was a lot of
Veros.
other things that led to this serial just being terrible. Anyway, not the least of which is the really intrusive trial scenes now. Because it starts right where last week left off.
Well, it starts with a really cut down version of that zoom in on the space station.
And then Value's like, yeah, this is a trial now. And the doctor's like, okay. Didn't see that coming.
And the Inquisitor asks the doctor not to call the Valyard anything but the Valyard.
And the doctor's like, okay. Didn't see that coming. Then the Valyard's like, I've got some more evidence.
Yeah, here's this next story that we pulled you out. Okay, so last week we learned / heard that this week would be sort of a present serial, which is like kind of true, but like
it was the closest
in the
they could do.
loosest sense of the term.
It was the closest they could do.
So the Valyard starts presenting the next piece of evidence, which has the Doctor and Peri landing on pink Jupiter.
Yeah, and as soon as that happens, you're like, well, I guess Peri's getting written out of this serial because of
all the times she mentions in the serial that she wishes she could just go back to her own.
Well, yes,
place, but time.
I was going to say that, but also the fact that Peri's not with the Doctor on the Time Lord space station.
Yeah. So this is something beta.
Thorax. Something with a T.
Thordon? No.
Oh, yeah, no. Thoros.
Oh, Thoros beta. 2379.
Or Thoros beta, if you're anyone in the serial.
If you're British.
Yeah,
right, and
the
you can
color
see,
effects are pretty nice.
I mean, yeah, like the ocean shot was pretty cool. I was like, I wonder how they're making it all pink. And then it cut to the Doctor and Peri, and I was like, it's just a pink filter over everything.
Well, the Doctor and Peri were less pink than the background. You could tell they made an effort, at least, to try cut them out of the pink filter. But there's like pink fringing around their whole body. I was like, oh, okay.
And Thoros Alpha is a Saturn-like world, so I don't know if they did that on purpose, or maybe it was just me thinking Beta looked like Jupiter. But you can see, it was actually pretty cool. You could see the Saturn-like planet in the sky.
Looks suspiciously just like Saturn, actually.
Yeah, well, I mean, what do you want?
I wanted it to be neon.
You want them to create new, unheard of designs for planets?
I wanted it to be neon.
It was pretty neon.
like supposed Jupiter.
So, yeah, they start wandering around. The Doctor has a piece of Baden technology for some reason.
So he mentions that, like, the warlords of Thoros Beta, or he says that they found someone who was dying who had this device on them, and he was like, his last words were like, take this back to Thoros Beta because the warlords wanted it or something like that. And I was like, what?
What? So Yarkanos was actually from Beta? Is that what this is all about?
Yeah, I think so.
Huh. I don't know. I mean, whatever. I mean, I guess it makes sense that more than one race would live on a planet, but this show has conditioned me to believe otherwise. I mean, at the max, too.
It's
right?
propagandized you into... It's like that. There's a species in Star Trek where there's 5 sentient species that live on the one planet, except one of them dies off before Star Trek starts. There's only 4 now. Yeah, I don't think they'll ever do anything that ambitious in this show.
Nah.
So
they head into the caves and they get attacked by The Rock.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson. So he isn't
even
Dr.
more
Who.
evidence that he should play the next Doctor.
Look, honestly, if they announced like today that The Rock was going to be the next Doctor, I'd be totally okay with that.
Yeah, me too.
Even though Capaldi's pretty great, The Rock, it's The Rock. So we should start a letter writing campaign. The Rock for Doctor Who. So
they kill The Rock.
Yeah, the Doctor kills it.
Because apparently it attacked unprovoked, and they set it up to be this like big part of the serial, like, oh, The Rock attacked us unprovoked, and they're like, no, it couldn't have attacked you unprovoked, and they never really resolve it.
Yeah, especially since it did attack them. No, they did resolve it because the scientist was like, Doctor, did it attack you unprovoked? This is like in episode 3. And the doc's like, yeah, it attacked me unprovoked, and the doctor's all right, well, I believe him.
Yeah, but they never tell you why it attacked him unprovoked when it was supposed to not attack him unprovoked.
Yeah. Something about the mind transference mumbo jumbo this dude is doing.
So they get
captured.
taken. Yeah, they get captured
By Syl.
Oh, we don't know it's Syl yet.
Well, they get taken to Syl.
Yeah, they get taken to Syl.
And the doctor's like, oh yeah, I forgot to mention
first
Beta, Syl's home planet.
First they execute Operation Skedaddle.
Yeah, on The Rock.
No, that was after The Rock was dead. They push over The Rock's dead body.
Yeah, they're performing it on The Rock. So the doctor's like, I'm a doctor, and Peri's my nurse.
Yeah. Then they get taken to Syl, and the doctor's like, oh yeah, I didn't mention that Syl lives here, and Peri's like, why? And he's like, you never asked.
Yeah, and then he's like, oh yeah, Thoros Beta's Syl's home planet. Peri's like, wow, thanks, Doctor.
But apparently there's only 2 of the Syl race left.
No, there's that random third
there's
one.
That random third
the,
one.
Jail guard, and then there's that fourth body they just find, like, in the ocean.
Yeah, that was a primordial ancestor version that retained its ancient sting.
I feel like there's more just chilling on this planet. We just don't see them.
Yeah, probably. And what I wondered was how the mentors, I guess they're called the mentors, were able to assert control over the humans / whatever Arcanos was, human / The Rock, because they seem way physically weaker and just worse overall in terms of physical ability.
Guards.
I know, but like, how did they start controlling the guards in the first place, right?
Money.
How did they get the money in the first place, right?
I don't know.
It doesn't really add up, but hey, whatever.
Look, there's a lot of things in the seal that don't add up, okay?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that
it's the least of all your worries.
Yeah, no, I'm making a big deal about it right now, but that was like, I didn't really think that contributed to the badness of this serial as much as some other things did.
So
we find out that Syl is hanging out with Yiv, who's like in charge. And okay, I actually kind of liked how at first Syl was supposed to be like this big bad guy from this corporation / planet / thing, and then we find out that he's actually pretty capitulative to this dude Yiv. Which is pretty funny.
I mean, he's still part of this big bad corporation, though.
Yeah. Okay, he doesn't do the thing anymore.
Well, he does.
He does the weird laugh thing.
No, he does the thing, but they just cut out the noise. Like, if you watch him, you can see his lips moving like that, and you're like,
Oh. Huh.
I think they realized it was really irritating.
Yes, they didn't realize his entire character was really irritating.
No, Philip Martin just loves Syl.
Yeah, I read that like a lot of people behind the scenes who worked on the show really liked Syl.
God damn it, guys. So, yeah, Yif is dying.
Yeah, and they've employed this scientist Crozier to
the most casual scientist in the whole universe, too.
I mean, even though they're holding him at threat of his life, he's just like, yeah, whatever. They've employed him to transfer Yiv's mind into another body.
Well, I think he knows that if they kill him,
They can't do it.
yeah.
So
So it's like, who really has the power here?
So Crozier and Co. have recovered this ancient body from somewhere.
Well, they know that's later. Right now they have Yakarnos, and he like gets up and starts attacking them. And like, this isn't right.
Yakarnos.
He's like breaking free from the mental conditioning, whatever the heck. And we also forgot to mention that the Doctor and Peri met Dorf.
Yeah, the Wolf Man.
And he's all like, help me, and Peri's like, gotta help him. And then the guards come and they're like, never mind, we're bailing.
Yeah, they're pretty condescending to Dorf.
Look, okay, the Doctor. We're talking about condescending.
Yeah, okay, I didn't get the Doctor in this serial, like, at all. Like, I didn't get it. Was he just faking it? Was he really controlled? Was he just doing it of his own accord and being a...
See, okay, so what I thought, originally, I thought, like, because he got shocked or whatever, because so they put him into the mind machine at the end of episode 1, because they're trying to find out if the Rock actually attacked unprovoked. And then what I thought happened was that it, like, erased his memory or something, and then he...
Well, yeah, that's what it leads you to believe, because
then he pulls an Adric.
Yeah, but because the Doctor in the trial is like, I don't remember anything past this point, and you're like, oh, he's being mind controlled or mind erased or whatever, and
but
the
then he
Valier doesn't believe it.
Snaps
Obviously,
out of it later when he eats that swamp mosh.
But then snaps back into it. I don't know.
I feel like after that he was just joking about it. But then, okay,
no,
later
he's
I
interrogating
thought...
Peri, and he's like, I was just faking it, obviously. And then he like goes back into it, and then I don't know.
And then I thought, well, maybe the Valiard is doctoring the footage, because that's what they were heavily implying.
Yeah, and I mean this.
And then it didn't get resolved in this serial, so it'll probably get resolved like a week from now.
Yeah, and I mean
for us a week from now.
they're setting up this big mystery, and they were last week too. And the Doctor's like, "There's more than meets the eye going on here," and I'm like, "It's probably just the Valiard doctoring the evidence." Let's be honest, it's probably just something lame like that, something you can totally see coming from a mile away.
Yeah, well, they also keep like, so they started cutting to the trial scenes like more frequently this week than last week for us, and then, but they don't even advance the plot now anymore. They just cut to the trial, and the Valiant goes, haha, and the Doctor goes, yeah, right, let's keep watching. And that's every single scene in the serial, in the trial.
Don't forget the Inquisitor being like, hey, calm down.
Yeah, knock it off, guys. So, anyway, the Doctor gets mind controlled or something. And then they're like, we could put Yiv's brain in the Doctor's body, and
Yiv, I think, was supposed to be like not okay with his own form. So he wanted to be in a human form or something.
The thing was, he was dying. He was having he was having pain because he was dying. And the reason why he wanted to get put in another body was so he wouldn't die.
Yeah, but he
wanted basic functional immortality.
No, I know, but even when he gets put in his own species carcass thing, he's like, hey, I don't want to be in this body. Make me a human. And then he gets into Peri's body, and he's like, okay.
Spoiler.
Also, anyway, he gets transferred into Peri's body, and he's like, yeah, this is pretty cool.
Yeah, no. Okay, so the scientist guy, what's his name?
Crozier.
Makes this giant leap in scientific technology by the end of the serial. Because in the beginning, he's like, I can move brains from one body to the next. And at the end of the serial, I can just move consciousness now. I was like,
Yeah, but I mean, that seems to be what he did when he did the first transfer. So, hey, whatever.
Anyway, Yakarnos breaks free and breaks the Doctor and Peri out, and then the Doctor just sells him out because he's pulling an Adric.
Yeah.
Although he's way better at making us confused as to whose side he's on than Adric was.
Which might be a good thing and might not. I really don't know.
So yeah, Yakarnos isn't pleased at that. He's like, well, I gotta kill the Doctor now. That's the honorable thing to do now. And Peri's like, why?
She's more like, that's the honorable thing to do now.
Yeah, so Ryan Blessed playing King Yakarnos, apparently well known for his, I guess, exuberant performances is how he would put it.
Yeah.
Exuberant's a pretty good word, I think, for it.
I liked that one scene near the end where he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna die, and then I'm gonna go to the plane of warriors."
And he's like, "What are you gonna do there?" And he's like, "Fight, obviously."
Duh.
Anyway, so he's like, "So who are you?" And she's like, "I'm Perper Gilliam of the Browns." And then the king's like, "I'm gonna marry you." And she's like, I was like, okay, so that's how they're riding her out. Okay.
Yeah, I seriously thought that's where they were going with it. And then, okay, so Peri makes all these weird comments that obviously let you know she's going to get written out way beforehand, but she's like, I really just want to go back to my own time. I don't so much care about the place, but, just the time. So
Yeah,
I'm
I was
like,
like,
what? Why?
It's out of left field.
Yeah, first of all, we've never heard of anything about this before. Second of all, what if she got transported back to her same time, but like a billion miles away, like on the other side of the universe, on another planet?
She's dropped on like,
like, well,
Scarro.
This is what you wanted, Peri.
The doctor's like, this is what you wanted. I mean, we all know the doctor's secretly been trying to kill Peri these past couple of weeks anyway. Yeah. So maybe that's just what he was doing in this series. He was playing it up because he's finally saw his opportunity.
He finally saw an out for Peri. And he's like, guess I don't have to pretend to like you anymore.
So... King Yakarnos and Peri kind of run around corridors for a little while here.
Yeah.
Well, the doctor betrays them so they go into the, like, processing room or whatever the heck it was, and then they just beat up the guy, and then the doctor breaks away and sells him out, and they're like, God damn it.
Yeah. The doctor and Syl are eating, what Syl calls marshmallows, but it looks like, marsh slime.
You mean Yivin
swamp
Syl.
Slime. Well, the doctor eats some later.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's now. I really don't know.
It's later, because that's what snaps him out of it for like all of 5 minutes, apparently.
I mean, I don't know. I didn't get that snapped him out of it because I didn't know if he was pretending or like I didn't know what he was doing, so I didn't know if that was. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
So they asked the doctor to interrogate Peri, and he's like, "Sure, all right." And you think, okay, so now they're gonna make their escape.
Well, then they cut to into the trial. It's like, and the doctor's like, "See, I remember now. It was all a ploy so I could interrogate Peri." And the Valeyard's like, "Yeah, you want to see that interrogation? Let's play the interrogation."
And all this is probably just the Valeyard doctoring the evidence, pun intended. Which is kind of a lame plot twist. Because it's super obvious. But we'll see.
Also negates, like, everything in this serial, and potentially
Peri's
last
death.
week. Yeah, and potentially Peri's death. And then potentially everything that happens next week. So now it's like, do we even trust anything that happens this season?
No.
Except the trial scenes. Those we can trust.
What if it's the Valeyard manipulating the Inquisitor to make it seem like it's supposed to be a fair trial, or what starts the fair trial that shifts in his favor, but it's actually not. It was in his favor all along. I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, yeah, we get the interrogation scene, which is out on the pink beach.
Yeah. I was like, tell me. Peri doesn't.
Peri's like bound to the rocks.
She's like, why are you doing this to me? And the doctor's like, because I have to get the information. I only think of myself. And I was like, the doctor would never say that.
Well, maybe the Sixth Doctor would.
No, he wouldn't.
Peri makes this comment like, the Doctor used to be so much more kind than he is right now. And it's like, yeah, maybe the Fifth Doctor.
Yeah, but even the Sixth Doctor wouldn't just say, I only think of myself.
I don't know, maybe.
No, I don't think so.
I don't know.
Especially the way he delivered it, I was like, what?
So, yeah, that happens.
And then they go back inside, and I think the well, this is where the doctor's like, I don't remember this happening, because they taken Peri inside to get interrogated or whatever. The doctor's like, I don't remember this. That didn't happen like that. And then the Valeyards are like, maybe in your mind, but in reality, it's different. And I was like, okay, so you're doctoring the footage, right?
Maybe this is just all a ploy to make us believe that he's doctoring the footage, but it's actually something more cool.
Yeah. Sure. So yeah, they kind of run around a bit in episode 3.
Yeah, they meet the other people from Yarkanos' group, or like
a different group.
I don't know who they were.
It's a different group.
They're from Alpha, but like I don't know.
It's a different group, but then they meet up with Yarkanos' group.
Yeah, so
yeah, no,
they
so
were
Peri
supposed
and
to be
Yarkanos
like
escape.
Native American, right?
I guess.
I think.
Yeah.
And were they trying to make Yarkanos look Asian? Because I mean, I don't know, because like just based on his just based on his costume and like his makeup there.
I was thinking Mongolian while I was watching it.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, we didn't even mention Matrona yet, which is like okay because she doesn't do anything except have a kind of cool hairstyle.
Well, there's also, I think it's now in episode 3, that scene where Peri, she escapes, but she is hiding with this group of women who serve Yiv and Sil.
Yeah.
Like,
that
drinks?
Matrona, the Matrona like leads this group, but she's also the assistant to Crozier. I don't know.
And then, well, so Peri brings the doctor a drink, and then the doctor's like, "This is a bad drink. What have you done? You trying to poison me?" And so he rats Peri out.
She's wearing like this veil thing, and then he just removes it. I was like, great disguise there.
Yeah, he rats Peri out.
Again.
She's like, "Why? Why me?" And the doctor's like, "'Cause I hate you."
Now that's something he would say.
Yeah, so Yiv can't handle the pain anymore, so Crozier's like, well, I have this carcass I found.
Why don't we try this?
Yeah,
it retained its primeval sting.
One of the things I liked about this serial, the very few things I liked about this serial, Yiv was like, "I'm gonna die, and then what will become of you, Sil?" And Sil's like, yes. Like,
yeah, Sil's gonna take over command once Yiv dies. And then Yiv is like, "By the way, Sil, I've ordered my guards to kill you and everyone else if this operation fails."
And Sil's like, darn. Yeah, so they transfer Yiv to the new body, and then he's in the new body. But the best scene in this serial, where Crozier's just sipping on his tea, and then Yiv starts going into cardiac arrest, and he's going into cardiac arrest, and he just casually sips his tea some more, and then puts it down, and he's like, well, I better operate.
Yeah. So was it just me, or was Sil's mask, prosthetic face thing, like, crooked in episode 1? I think it was.
I don't know if it was necessarily crooked, but I do think it was less well applied than Yiv's. There was some pretty bad prosthetics in this serial, like the bald cap that Peri wears later. You can also tell exactly where that meets her face.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was either that or shave her head just for one scene, so... I mean, hey, James McAvoy did it. In that thing that's coming out for Triple Play, which you should check out. Yeah, because we've decided to forego hinting at what we're doing for Triple Play, which is our other podcast, which you should check out. And we're watching X-Men in like a couple months.
It'll still be 2 to 3 months after this episode goes out.
So keep an eye out for that. Anyway, Yiv has been successfully transferred into the new body. And he opens his eyes, and Sil's like, I want me to be the first thing he sees, like he's some sort of baby bird or something. So pretty creepy there. And he opens his eyes, and you see Sil's
disgusting
grotesque face. And he's like, what is that?
And he's like, have I died?
So he didn't retain his memories? I don't know what was going on.
Well, okay, well, no, then, because the doctor is now assisting Crozier.
Yeah.
And Crozier's like, well, I guess the cells have retained some of their genetic knowledge and are asserting themselves over Yiv's memory.
Oh.
And the doctor's like, yeah, that. Crozier's the most casual, doesn't give a doctor on the show. Yeah, because right now he's like, so, did the rock attack you unprovoked? And the doc's like, no. And he's like, well, I believe him.
So meanwhile, Yarkanos has started to reveal why he's so eager to die. Which is because after he dies, he's going to go to some Valhalla-like place and keep fighting.
No, you're forgetting the
And
whole
the
cycle.
reincarnation
Yeah, you're forgetting
thing.
the whole cycle. You start as a lowly peasant, and then you die with honor, and you get reincarnated, and you keep kind of moving up the chain every time you reincarnate until you're a king. And then when you die as a king, you go to
Become like a god or
the
something.
great battlefield in the sky.
So yeah, Yarkanos is already a king, so he has that to look forward to. And
Yeah.
Peri's like, what about love? And then they make this like contrived speech about love. And yeah, this is when Peri drops some more
Time bombs.
Yeah, like, yeah, I don't want to go back to my own place, just my own time.
Yeah, what if she gets dropped on Mondays?
Or if she just gets dropped in space in like her own time and dies immediately.
Doctor's like, this is what you wanted. She's like drifting away from the TARDIS.
Yeah, they can just they can call back to Katarina. It is like the 20-somethingth anniversary of Katarina's death, so would be a nice throwback there.
They should just bring back Katarina.
She didn't die.
They should explain it by having the Doctor like materialize the TARDIS around Katarina, like right off she ejects out the airlock.
Wow.
And they could bring back Katarina as a companion. And the Doctor could be like, hey, I'm the Doctor. And she'll be like, I don't understand. You look totally different. He's like, yeah, well, I've been through like 10 regenerations since then. See, now that's how you bring back a companion.
So, yeah.
Well, Peri and Yakarnos kind of run around a bit.
They meet
some more.
Tuza and co.
Yeah, they meet another tribe and they're like, we're going to kill you, Yakarnos and Peri, because you guys are probably spies. And they're like, no, we're not.
Actually, we're not. And they're like, oh, okay then. Let's go get our
Yakarnos
weapons.
is like, I'm not going to beg. I'm a king. So
they formulate this plan, but we don't ever get the plan because Yarkanos just whispers it in Tuza's ear.
yeah, well, if the plan was what they did, it was a pretty terrible plan.
Well, first they need to go get their weapons, but there's a convenient cave-in, so they can't.
Yeah, so they go around and discover the cave-in was probably caused by that guard dude. Also, the guy guarding the guns just died, so... Also,
Yeah.
Yakarnos kills a bunch of guards in the serial. At least so we think. He kind of just chops them on the neck and they fall down.
Yeah, he yells die right before he chops them, so... Yeah.
They're probably dead.
So they storm... Well, Tuza actually gets captured somehow, I guess.
Well,
it's by
no,
this
okay,
guard,
first
but
they
I don't
all
remember
die.
how.
And that's how episode 3 ends. The guy guns them all down. The Doctor's like, what?
They have these little lasers that look sort of like... I don't know, like...
Like electric razors.
Kind of.
But not like the ones at the... If you go to a hairdresser, they've got those...
Yeah, not the three circles.
Yeah, not that one.
Yeah, so they all die.
But they're not actually. They fake you out, even though they kill pretty much all of them at the end of episode 4 anyway.
Yeah,
They should have
so-
just killed them at the end of episode 3 and be like, yeah, they're dead.
Yeah. Well, the Doctor is like, hey, I don't remember this. Is Peri really dead? And the Valor's like, well, no, but yeah. And the Inquisitor's like, hey, don't do that.
Don't spoil it, Valiard. Then the Doctor just blurts out, Darth Vader's Luke's father. And the Valiard's like, ah, darn.
I haven't seen that yet.
So, in episode 4, the Doctor... Okay, so... Yeah.
They take in Tuza and Peri because they're going to transfer Yiv's mind into Peri.
Yeah, Crozier's all like, "Hey, Doctor, if you find another candidate who's suitable, I'll gladly use them. But right now, Peri's the only one we got." So the Doc's like, shoot." So he goes to get Tuza, and Tuza's not much of a help. But then Dorf and
Dorf
Yakarnos
dies.
get captured, but then Dorf dies while like shortly thereafter. But Yakarnos is like, why did you save us, Doctor? I'm supposed to kill you. And the Doc's like, yeah, well, I need your help to save Peri.
And you're like, oh, okay.
So they're going, and then the Doctor gets taken out of time by the Time Lords. And the Doctor's like, you can't blame me for anything that happens after this. You took me out of this.
And then they put everyone else in a time loop, and they're like, hey, we put everyone else in a time loop, but then they actually don't because the time loop just ends. I don't know.
Well, no, because they use Yakonos as an assassin
Oh yeah.
to kill Crozier and Yiv and Syl and Crozier's assistant.
Yeah, because Yiv has woken up in Peri's body and he's like, wow, this is pretty cool.
Yeah, and Crozier's
I
like,
have boobs now. Okay, no.
yeah, well, he's like, warm blood, yes.
And yeah, that doesn't really last long though, because then Yarkanos breaks in and he's like, hey guys, I'm just going to kill you all now.
Yeah.
And he does, and everything goes up in a huge blast of light.
So Crozier's all, yeah, I can change the course of history now. I can transfer consciousness to anybody. And I'm like, wait.
They make it a big deal, like how he's revolutionized evolution. I'm like, it's going to take forever for this technology to spread throughout the entire universe to the point where you revolutionize evolution.
Yeah, well, not even that. We don't even know if it works, because this process is the one they used on the Rock at the beginning, and then he, like, broke his mental conditioning, and his original personality reasserted itself. Watch in 2 weeks, at the end of the serial, I mean, although Peri's not dead, she just reasserted her true personality, and, yeah.
Yeah, some part of me has a hard time believing that Peri's dead. So, I mean, should we give her a
according to you, that she was
retrospective?
the female Advix, so it's only,
Fitting?
I guess.
I mean, yeah, it is. I mean, I kind of hope she's dead. Like, I don't really want her to come back
Well, that's
much.
a bit dark.
I mean, I don't know. I just want her to get written out. And if death,
Yeah, well-
death is the means by which she gets written out, then so be it.
I think she's written out. I don't think she's necessarily dead, because I feel like, I'm pretty sure later it'll be revealed that Valeyard was doctoring her footage and she's not going to actually be dead.
They're probably just gonna show some footage in the trial about how, like, Peri's actually back on Earth. Surprise!
Yeah, she's probably still alive, but I'm pretty sure she's written out, so I guess it's time to do that retrospective.
Yeah, but maybe we should talk about this serial first.
Yeah. Okay, so the only things I like, neon colors. Crozier was pretty funny, and there was like one shot that I thought was really interestingly composed. It was like a shot in the cave of the. So I had assumed that the operating room was like contained, but there's a shot from like outside, and it's like it looks like the theme building at LAX was like placed inside the cave. You know what LAX is?
Yeah,
that building.
I know what that is.
Yeah. So it looks like that inside the cave.
Most famous airport building of all time.
Like the only famous airport building of all time.
It's like in the top 3.
Can you name the other 2?
No, because it's number 1, but I'm sure there's like a top 3. There has to be like 2 other ones
Yeah,
in
the
that top
other 2
3.
are probably like Terminal 6 at Toronto Airport or some nonsense. I just like
I bet they just made that to make up for the fact that LAX is like a crappy airport.
Yeah, well, I hate LA, so...
Okay, honestly, I always mention how, guess we're talking about LAX now. I always mention, like, yeah, LAX sucks, but, like, what about it sucks? It's just a meme. It's really just a meme that LAX
I just hate
is
LA
bad.
in general.
Just hate
not
LA.
Not just specifically LA, I just hate LA.
All right.
No, okay, well, I just like the shot
so
where it looked like it was this big spidery building inside, and then there was the cave, which is all dark, and then the inside of the...
Oh, I didn't
the room
notice
was
that
like
or remember
light.
it
It was
at
like in
all,
episode
and it's
3 or
kind of
4.
grasping, but yeah.
Yeah, well, okay, this
There wasn't
serial...
much to like about this.
In my opinion, this is the worst of the 6 Doctors era so far, so...
Yeah, this is up there with Veros for me, but what I did want to say was, anyone out there who hates LAX, tell us why you hate LAX.
Email us. The email will be at the end of the podcast.
Yeah. Or I could just Google it. Like, why do people dislike LAX? Anyway.
Yeah, but I want to know what our fans specifically think. Our fans are probably like... I feel like a good 90% of them aren't even in California. Probably
Yeah,
like have
probably
never been
zero
to
of them.
Probably never been to LAX. But if you have, let us know, because now I'm curious.
Anyway.
Well,
What I liked about this serial, I kind of liked Jarkanos. I mean, his acting sucked, but he was kind of
he was
cool.
just overacting.
Yeah.
Well, the thing about the serial was there was no stakes. It
Yeah,
didn't
it really
feel like there
wasn't.
were any stakes to this serial. It just felt like they were running through corridors for 4 episodes, which I know we've used that saying before, but I think it's especially true for this serial.
Yeah, it was kind of underworld-esque.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know. I liked when Peri, became a villain at the end because I really liked in Snake Dance when Tegan was
Yeah.
a villain. So like they could have done that more. Like had her get controlled like near the beginning of the serial and had her be the big bad instead of Yiv, which I guess she is Yiv now. But yeah,
Well, there's that's the thing, there's little moments where you can tell there's a pretty good serial to be made, but it's
but
like,
they didn't make it.
yeah, it's like, it was like someone threw those in afterwards because like, oh man, we got to put something in there that's redeeming. J&T was like, oh man, this is, oh no. Eric Saywood gets the script on his desk and he's got his hands on his face. He's like, oh jeez. I don't know. It was just a train wreck. It was so boring too, also, was the thing. Anyway.
I mean, yeah, there was. I mean, I don't know. This wasn't. I guess it was bad, but overall, I mean, it was pretty. It was just like lackluster, right?
Yeah,
I mean, there wasn't
I
even
guess.
anything that was really, really bad about it. So
That's
it couldn't even
true.
do that right. It was just mediocre all around. I mean, it was bad all around, but it wasn't like really super bad all around. Not the movie. It wasn't like Underworld bad. It wasn't like Massacre bad.
But it is the underworld of the Sixth Doctor's era.
I think Veros was worse than this.
No, I
to be
disagree.
perfectly honest.
No, I disagree. Because I feel like this is all the bad parts of Veros without the good parts. Like
There were no good parts of Veros.
Yeah, there were. The cunning political intrigue, the interesting,
Interesting political crap.
the interesting society they built in Veros. There was none of that here. And at least
Yeah,
Veros had
sure.
stakes,
Yeah, sure.
not Trump stakes or cow stakes. I'm talking about wooden stakes.
Vampire stakes.
Yeah. All right, Peri retrospective.
She was one of the worst companions. I mean, if you've listened to any of our previous episodes, I pretty much say that in every episode. Like, hey, Peri kind of sucks.
At least she had a pretty decent American accent by the end.
By the end. Yeah, so that was pretty good. She was able to pull it off, so good for you. Although she was slipping in this serial, maybe because it was like her last / one of her last appearances, so she's like, I don't really care anymore.
Yeah, well, I'm not gonna blame her.
I mean,
for that.
she sounded kind of Australian at some points in this serial because I don't know, she was kind of slipping but also trying to do it, which I guess resulted in that, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. They just didn't take her character anywhere. Was the thing. They introduced her and she just existed to be pretty and to be American and to be a botanist.
Yeah, I mean, I've read some stuff like things that Nicola Bryant supposedly said in interviews, but I don't know because like it was just on the just a random website. But like she had a very different idea about where Peri would go, about how she'd be like scientific and a botanist. And they're like, hey, we're gonna paint your nails now, and she's like, I don't think Peri would wear nail polish. And they're like, no, trust me, she would.
Yeah. She was like, oh. It's kind of like how they're supposedly going to make Susan this really big and important character because she had telepathy or whatever, and they just never followed that plot line.
Except
through.
in Sensorites.
Yeah, except in that one serial where they did, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, after companions like Tegan and Turlo, it's just like Peri is kind of a letdown because she didn't have any character development. Except, like, slowly not wanting to be with the Doctor anymore.
It wasn't that slow. It was kind of just slammed on us on this serial.
Well, I mean, and last week, too.
It was a little bit of pretty much every other companion leaving except, like, Susan and Turlo.
Yeah, I guess, actually. And I know we mentioned before, like, with Tegan and Turlo, and Tegan's like fake write out too, was that the write outs and Adric, this is like one of the good things we said about Adric, was that the companions write outs were starting to fit their character a lot more. But here it doesn't really. Her death, but like at the same time, Peri didn't really have that much of a character to begin with, so whatever.
Yeah. I don't know. She got the most generic rat out possible, too. I mean, dying's like not that generic, but at the same time, it's like the doctor doesn't even get to say goodbye to her. He just gets taken away from her, and he doesn't even know he's not gonna see her again. He's just dumped in this trial room, and he's like, "What is happening?" And Peri just doesn't even know. So it's like, all right, why are we supposed to care then? Because the doctor doesn't. Because the thing is, the doctor doesn't seem so torn up about it.
Perfect for her entire character. Why are we supposed to care then?
Well, yeah, because the doctor doesn't seem that torn up about it in the trial when he finds out she died.
Because the serial ends with him being like, "There's something else going on here, and I'm gonna find out what."
He like briefly mentions he's like, "Peri's not dead," and he's like, "But there's something else going on here," and he just moves on. I'm like,
he wanted her dead, and he's just tired of pretending that he didn't.
He can finally move on
to his next victim. No. I mean, all the companions who die, so like Peri supposedly and Adric and Katarina are like...
That's Sarah Kingdom if you count.
I mean, I guess, are the doctor's fault? Because like they wouldn't have died in that way if he never brought them along. I mean, yeah, they're going of their own accord, but like there's some part of that is the doctor's fault. Like, you can't deny.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know if I'd blame Katarina. I don't know if I'd blame Katarina on the doctor.
I mean, I don't know. I would.
I mean, I'm not sure why. I'm not sure why the doctor took Katarina. To be honest,
didn't she just wander into the TARDIS?
Yeah.
I would blame Katarina more on the doctor than Adric, because Adric was about to save himself, and then he's like, "Wait."
Yeah, but Katarina didn't know what she was doing.
Yeah, neither did. Well, okay, Adric did, but I mean, he never figured out if he was right. So.
Why do we care? And Peri just didn't even see it coming. Poor Peri.
Yeah, 'cause she got knocked out, and that's the last thing her consciousness experience was getting knocked out.
Yeah, honestly, she was gonna die. I feel like getting knocked out is getting knocked out and then just not being conscious for anything more up to your death. That's a more humane way than Adric, who burned up in a fiery blaze of glory. And possibly killed all the dinosaurs.
But she didn't die a warrior's death.
Yeah, well, Peri was the furthest thing from a warrior on this show. I mean, compare her to Leela.
Well, Leela was the closest thing to a warrior on this show.
Exactly what I'm
saying. So yeah, that's Peri.
Now we get... a new person. Presumably next week.
Yeah.
So next week's supposed to be that whole future story thing, which should be interesting because the Doctor won't have lived through it yet. But knowing this show, it's not going to be that well executed.
Yeah, because what I thought was going to happen this week was because it was supposed to be the present story, which is that it was actually going to take place on the space station. But no.
Nope. Anyway. Email us at thedoctor@decorativevegetable.com. Questions, comments, concerns, angry rants, love letters, your thoughts on LAX.
Yeah, because their security's okay, I don't know. Not really.
Doesn't America have some of the highest airplane security in the world?
Probably.
TSA and everything. Actually, when this goes out, I'll probably have flown on an airplane out of the country. Probably from LAX. You can find us on YouTube, iTunes, and Google Play, all at Trust Your Doctor. Leave a rating if you like the show.
Also check us out on Facebook, Trust Your Doctor. Like us on Facebook, check us out on Twitter at TYD Podcast, and follow us on Twitter. And next week we continue on with Terror of the Vervoids, which is hopefully more interesting than this. But until then, the end.